Please remain standing. Men, remove your caps. And as we face the newly installed flags on the hill, let us all together join together with the artisans in singing of the national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang, bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
Please remain standing. It's my distinct honor to introduce Mr. Don Dedsby, class of 7W4. He will lead the invocation, and I would ask that you would remain standing with him as he graduated and was part of the class of 1974. The 50th reunion class are here. They helped guide these young men on their 1,000-day journey. So welcome with me, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Dedsby.
Good morning. Give you a little bit of a perspective. In 1974, there was nothing from the railroad tracks to the main building. It was a little bit different than what you see today. A few months ago, I was asked to give this speech, and I sat down and I started writing, and after a while I said, I got to call and find out how much time I've got. So I threw that speech away, and I'm going to give you three different things: a perspective of 1974, what's happened in the last 50 years, and some recommendations from the class of 1974. If you close your eyes for a minute, think about a world without computers, without cell phones, and without 24-hour news. Essentially, that's 1974. Now, several other things that happen. Imagine a world where the Flyers actually win the Stanley Cup. It was actually 1974 and 1975. And there was no This Old House on television. There was no internet. It didn't come until 1983. Except for technology, everything at 1974 was very much like it is today. Today we have Trump and Biden. In 1972, we had Nixon and McGovern. And I'm not sure which one was better. In 2021, if we fast forward to 2021, 110 of you had the opportunity to come here to Williamson. You came from small schools, you came from large schools, and if you take an average, that means that you graduated with over 30,000 kids in 2021. Now, to put that into perspective, I had the pleasure of joining you guys at the Flyers game a couple months ago. The Flyers Wachovia Center, Wells Fargo Center, actually holds 15,000 people. So you graduated with 2 times the amount of people that were at the Flyers game. So that makes you a very elite group. 84 of you are still standing, so it's 84 out of 30,000. The one thing I know about Williamson and Williamson graduates, which you now or very shortly will be an alumnus, is that they love to talk about Williamson, and they always talk about what it was like and how much harder it was when I was here or you were there. And no matter where you go for the rest of your life, you will find somebody that went to Williamson, and you will pick up a conversation, and that conversation will go on and on about what it was like in what you did in the last 3 years. I once had a boss who said that if you had one Williamson guy, you were 2 guys ahead. If you had 2 Williamson guys, you were 3 guys behind, because all they did all day was talk about Williamson and bring somebody else into the conversation. So nothing got done all day. My most recent boss called it the secret handshake school, because it's only us that really know. Unless you've been here, you don't know what it's like. Recommendations from the class of 74. Things that they never taught you in the last 3 years. They're not in the order of importance, but things you need to remember. Don't ever buy anything the first time you see it. If you don't believe me, ask anybody that's ever bought a timeshare. How many of you seniors have credit cards? How many of you have more than one? How many of you pay the minimum? When you go home tonight, except for one, rip them up. Pay them off, and then start from there. This is for the mothers out there. Call your mother at least once a week. Your life will be much easier, trust me. Always, always show up for Christmas. There's an unbelievable world out there. It goes well beyond what you're familiar with at this point. In June 21st, 1974, I left Delco and never went back, and didn't regret 1 minute. This week or next week, you're all going to start work. That's when you start saving for retirement. I'm standing here 50 years later, and I still remember the day that I did the checkoff that said, can you save 4 cents an hour? It makes all the difference in the world when you get to be here. Take calculated risk. You're young, you have time to recover. If you make a mistake, you're going to make mistakes. There's absolutely no question. But now's the time to make those mistakes. Have a plan. In 2021, you had a plan. Whether you appreciate it or not, you had a plan. That plan was that it was short term. You were going to graduate. You were going to finish your freshman year. Midterm was you were going to finish your junior year, and then subsequently your long-term plan was today. Congratulations. Now the real fun begins. You need to sit down and think about, where am I going to be in 20 years from now, in 30 years from now, and in 50 years from now? Hard to believe that that you could even imagine that that's going to happen, but it happens, and it happens quickly. Don't forget your roots. Reach for the stars. Many of you are thinking, I've done 15 years, 12 years of school and then 3 years here at Williamson, and it's over. Well, I've got bad news for you. Tomorrow is the first day of your education. From now on, if you sit down at the end of the week and say, what did I learn this week? You're going to be miles and miles ahead. God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please be seated. Thank you, Don, for offering the invocation and your thoughts, and thank you to the artisans under the direction of Miss Sherry Gardner for that great rendition of our national anthem. Mr. O'Connor, Chairman Bonenberger, trustees and spouses, Mr. Wesley, distinguished faculty and staff, graduates of the Williamson class of 1974, the 50-year affiliate class, parents, family, friends, and especially the Williamson class of 2024. Welcome to the 131st commencement exercises of Williamson College of the Trades. I'd like to welcome the members of the Board of Trustees who are present and seated here on the field in order of their time and service to the board, from our newest board members to our longest serving. So please stand as I announce your name and remain standing, and I'll ask everyone to please hold your applause until the end. Mr. John Deneau, Mr. John Heenan, Ms. Heather Hassel-Finnegan, Mr. Kevin Hatch, Mr. Ken Wong, Mr. Tim Crow, Mr. Tom Goki, Mr. Jim Obermeyer, Mr. David Watson, Dr. Art Lalo, Mr. John Lawton, Mr. Ed Mahoney, Mr. Vince Mancini, Mr. Larry Turner, Mr. John Stuckey, and Mr. Mike Piotrowicz. Thank you, guys. I would also like to recognize our chairman, Mr. Bill Bonenberger, and Mr. Chris Moran, president of the Williamson Association of Alumni, who are seated here on the stage. I want to personally thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask the staff and faculty to arise. Please, staff and faculty. Yep, that's you. I want to personally thank you for your dedication and your service to Williamson and to our graduating seniors. I'd ask everyone to please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for our fantastic faculty and staff. The class officers are elected by their classmates and have led this class for the past 3 years, and I've enjoyed working with them, appreciate all they have done for their classmates and the leadership that they have provided for Williamson. I want to especially thank Class President Josh Gindel for his work over the past 3 years and welcome him to our podium for the senior address. Josh.
To my brothers, the class of 2W4, it has been an honor to serve you as class president all 3 years of our journey. We have been through hardship, success, and we never took no for an answer. We stood together for what we believed was right, and we stood strong. Spending 3 years together has taught us many things about brotherhood, about unity, and about sacrifice. We've all experienced our challenges, hardships within families, friends, and certainly academics. It was each other that got us through it. We uplifted one another, and we pushed each other when necessary. We took care of each other in times of most need. We shared many laughs at the expense of our friends, and they shared them right back. We also embraced and found common ground. We shared experiences and stories, many of which about our lives before Williamson, and many just about the weekend before. Through all of this, we turned from boys to Williamson men right before our eyes. We have earned the skills to go out in the world and make a difference, and I implore you to do so. Nobody can take away the memories and good times we've shared here. Carry yourself high and hold yourself to a standard above everyone else. Show the world who a Williamson man is. Live your life with virtue and integrity. We are not just bricklayers, carpenters, machinists, landscapers, or whatever power plant does all day. We are men who know how to adapt, men who know how to overcome challenges and seek answers, men who stand for what's right and lend a helping hand to those in need. The road ahead will be challenging, but if anyone knows how to roll with the punches, it's us. My brothers, keep each other in your heart. Never forget where you come from and set your sights on where you want to go. Remember that great reward requires great effort. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Josh. I'd now like to invite the junior class president, Dave DeCampley, to join Josh here at the podium for the passing of the gavel.
When I was a freshman, I watched as the senior class president passed this gavel down onto the junior class president. Then this time last year, it was presented to me. This gavel has been passed down for many years, and it will be passed down for many years to come. This gavel represents the shifting of roles and responsibilities from the graduating senior class president to the incoming senior class president. It represents being held to a higher standard and signifies leading your fellow classmates in your final year of Williamson. I now offer the gavel to the senior class president, David DeCampley.
Thank you, Josh. On behalf of myself and the junior class, we accept this golden gavel and promise to keep the legacy you have left behind living on through us. With all of you being the largest graduating class in Williamson history, this will be no easy task. Not only does this accomplishment show your persistence and determination, it shows the accountability not only for yourself, but the accountability you hold for your brothers next to you. I encourage you to keep this going as you enter the world today as Williamson men. You have all created a strong bond over these 3 years, and it shouldn't stop here. Class of 2W4, your mentorship and dedication will not be forgotten, but carried on. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, guys. It's now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Kevin O'Connor. I'm sure most of you recognize him. He has been the host of the popular PBS home improvement show, This Old House, for the past 20 years. This Old House is one of the longest running shows in television history, has been on the air continuously for over 45 years. Kevin first visited Williamson in November of 2021 at the urging of his former high school soccer coach, Rick Jacobs, who is also here with us today. Kevin was impressed with what he saw, and when he returned to Massachusetts, he told the producers of the show that he thought Williamson should be presented to our audience as a way to promote trade education and careers in the trades, and the producers agreed. So a film crew returned a few weeks later to take some footage of our fall career fair, and then Kevin and his film crew returned to campus in December. Ultimate professionals, they spent the full day on campus filming every aspect of a day at Williamson. And in March of 2022, Williamson was featured in a 5-minute segment on an episode of This Old House, and thousands of people across the country were introduced to Williamson and our great mission. Kevin has become a true friend and advocate of Williamson. He took the time from his very busy schedule to travel here not only today, but early yesterday with his crew, and they spent the whole day just taking footage, interviewing people, so that they can do a follow-up segment on Williamson in the future episode of This Old House. Or, maybe you could just make the whole thing about Williamson. I mean, tell Chris, right? That'd be good. Do the whole show. Just an idea. You might think about it. That's not all that Kevin has done to help spread the word. He's a good friend of Mike Rowe, host of the show This Dirty Jobs. And when Kevin was a guest on his podcast this fall, he spoke for several minutes about Williamson, even saying, "Can you believe a place like this even exists? And why aren't there more of them?" And that's how strongly Kevin feels about Williamson. He stopped talking about This Old House and his own personal things, and he wanted to share a little about Williamson with Mike Rowe's audience. So I can't imagine a better advocate for us than Kevin. The story of how Kevin became host of a home improvement show is an interesting one, because being a TV celebrity was never one of his career goals. He was always pretty handy with tools and enjoyed his home improvement projects, but he pursued a career in finance after graduating from college. He began his working life as a vice president in the sports finance group at Fleet Bank, and then later a senior vice president in the commercial real estate group at Bank of America. Because both Kevin and his wife Kathleen enjoyed home renovation projects and were pretty good at it, they decided to purchase a home in New England that needed a little work, a fixer-upper, so they could kind of put their skills to good use in their free time. And as they were working on the house, they came to a point where they needed to remove some wallpaper and were not sure exactly how to do it or go about it the right way. And so they sent an email about it to Ask This Old House experts. And to their surprise, the producers called and said they wanted to film them working on their house and would provide their experts to help them out. So of course they were excited and said yes. The crew that worked with Kevin on that episode saw his outgoing personality, and they were really impressed with the great questions that he was asking the crew. And as luck would have it, the producers were kind of in the process of looking for a new host for the show, so they called Kevin and offered him the job. Although he was a lifetime fan of the show, he never dreamed of being the show's host, but the way things fell into place seemed like it was meant to be. And it didn't take him long to decide to leave the world of finance behind. In addition to hosting This Old House for the past 20 years, he hosts the show Ask This Old House, is the host of the podcast Clear Story, and has hosted shows for the DIY and the History's H2 networks. And he has also published the book, The Best Homes of This Old House. Kevin grew up in Maplewood, New Jersey, attended St. Benedict High School in nearby Newark, New Jersey. He received a Bachelor of Arts degree in history from the College of the Holy Cross and a Master's of Business Administration from Boston University. His job and his family keep him very busy, but he still enjoys working with his hands on those do-it-yourself projects when he gets a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our commencement speaker and good friend, Mr. Kevin O'Connor.
What's up, fellas? So I'll let you in on something. I never wear a tie, and I never write it down. But because you did, and for you today, I will. It's under there somewhere. It's tight, too. Hey, where's yours? What's up with that? Anyway, let me just jump in with this to you folks. Congratulations, you made it. And the thing that I love about that is that you got here by doing everything you weren't supposed to do. You weren't supposed to graduate in 3 years. Out there, they tell you 4 years. Get a traditional degree and spend maybe 5 or 6 years doing it. You certainly were not supposed to learn how to work with your hands, right? You were supposed to get a traditional higher education, and you were supposed to spend all of your time in somebody's classroom. And you definitely weren't supposed to end up, at this point, debt-free. You were supposed to go to a really expensive school so that you could signal to everybody that you're special. Well, fellas, the $1.7 trillion higher education lending industrial complex is disappointed in you. They're looking for you. It took guts to defy that convention. You cut your own path, and it brought you here today. And look what you got. You got a degree, you got a skill, you got a job, and no debt. Now, yeah. I doubt that surprises you, because that's what you signed up for. But you got something else along the way that you may not be fully aware of. Because you guys rejected all of those supposed to do's or whatever, you have actually redefined what it means to be successful and to be prepared. And along the way, you have earned the respect of everybody here, obviously your friends and your families, but also of complete strangers, myself included. And I just have to say that because of that respect that I have for you, it's a remarkable privilege to be here speaking in front of you today. While I'm at it, I do have to say a big congratulations to the faculty, the trustees, the benefactors, everyone up on the stage right here. You have done something wholly unconventional as well. And if you fellows will give me a minute, I want to say congratulations to the board, the faculty, the benefactors, the trustees, for staying true to this institution's 136-year-old charter that rejects the idea of what a conventional higher education should look like and has cut their own path. Congratulations to them for keeping their focus on you, on young men, and for understanding what makes you unique, how you learn, what it takes to make you successful. I would imagine that hasn't been an easy path to follow these days. Congratulations for enforcing high standards, for asking a lot of these young men, put on a tie, stay off drugs, don't cut across the lawn. Might sound a little ridiculous, but fellas, trust me, shortcuts don't get you to where you want to go. Congratulations for allowing these guys to graduate debt-free, for always going out and trying to raise the money wherever and whenever. You guys need to remember this. Somebody wrote a check so that you didn't have to. And that means never be ashamed to make an honest buck. Your prosperity begets generosity. And most importantly, while other institutions have prided themselves on how many people they turn away, congratulations to you guys for expanding this institution, adding additional seats when you knew that every additional seat was an additional burden. You all are remarkable, doing a remarkable thing. All right, so the story you heard, as Mike said, I first learned about this school from my high school soccer coach, Rick. Thank you for that, by the way. He called me up and he's like, "OC, you got to see this place. It's the only place that I've ever been to that looks anything like the school that we shared, which was St. Benedict's in Newark." And so I came down, I fell in love, I totally got it. And I immediately saw the similarities between the two institutions. Ours was all men, yours was all men. You guys end up debt-free. Ours isn't cost-free, but it's low cost to a lot and free to many. Both of those schools set very high standards. They were strict, that's okay. And most importantly, both of those institutions put the kids first. They put the students first. We had a saying at St. Benedict's, one of many, but it said, "Never do for a young man what he can do for himself." And I see a lot of that here at this institution. There were enough similarities that I felt willing to accept Mike's invitation to come and to share with you some of my experiences that I think might be useful to you. And so in the long-standing tradition of old guys giving unsolicited advice to young guys, here I go. A couple things that I'd like to share with you. First, don't underestimate the bond that you guys now share with each other. You've walked a unique path. Most folks out there won't understand it. And so you share some common DNA. It's a connection that makes you all brothers. Joshua, I heard you refer to them as your brothers, and you're right. Brothers are for life. And so whether it's 5 years from now or 50 years from now, you're going to look back on this time fondly and just know that that is where that unbreakable bond started and where it was made. We had another saying at my school, and this is the important one, and it was, "Whatever hurts my brother hurts me." And so make that yours. Take that for yourselves. Look to your right, look to your left. Those are your brothers. Let them lean on you, and most importantly, lean on them. It's not always easy for guys to do that, but that's super important. Definitely do that. The second thing that I want you to think about is where you came from has a lot to do with where you're going. And not necessarily in the way you think. At my school, the one that Rick and I shared, we had all types of kids, most of them for downtown Newark. And I would say that a lot of them came from challenging circumstances, some from broken homes, some from poverty, some from worse. I was fortunate that I didn't have any of those challenges facing me, but it wasn't smooth sailing. It never really is. When I was 2, my mom died. And then all of a sudden, Dad is looking after 5 kids under the age of 7 while trying to hold down a job. And that's the kind of thing that can break a family or it can break a young man. But it didn't. Dad persevered, he moved forward, sell the house, move next to grandparents. A lot of people lean in. We figured it out. And I end up with all these great people who are sort of got my back. It was a remarkable bond. And then, and then the most amazing thing happens. Dad marries my new mom. And I don't know what 26-year-old woman marries a guy with 5 kids, but she did. And pretty soon there were 2 more. And so now there's 7 kids, and all of a sudden I've got 2 new more siblings. I got 2 more people with my back covered, looking out for me. And I started reflecting on it. And what's amazing about it is that, the worst thing happens, and from it, the best thing grows. When my mom died, our family was not broken. It was just unfinished. And I want you to think about that. Keep that in mind. Whenever you guys face adversity, and I'm sure you have, and if by some miracle you haven't, I'm sure you will, don't let it break you. Know that those bumps and those bruises along the way, those things that feel like breaks, they aren't kinks in your armor. They are your armor. Never broken, always unfinished. So you got an army of people looking out after you. Many of them are here today. Good on you for being those folks for them. But starting tomorrow, you guys get to go to the other side. Tomorrow, you become the ones who other people rely on. And I can assure you, it is a high honor. For the past 3 years, you've sharpened your minds, you've strengthened your resolve, you learned a skill. You now have a trade and a vocation, and that puts you in a unique position where people are going to rely on you. You're the ones who can do things, you're the ones who can fix things, you're the ones who keep this world working, and I hope that feels good. I have to assume by now you have enjoyed that feeling of picking up something with your hands and making something out of it. A large part of why you guys matter so much is because you have purpose, and you have purpose because people rely on you. It is part of the definition of manhood, parenthood, brotherhood. It's also the definition of motherhood and sisterhood, a speech for a different day and a different audience. Speaking of parenthood, I'll share a little story with you. I never enjoyed watching my kids play baseball, soccer, or going to the lacrosse games. I just didn't understand it. They're having fun. I don't know why they needed me there. But I do actually like watching them work. So my oldest, he has a summer job. He works at a restaurant. They got a big lawn out front. And he serves drinks and food. He picks up plates and he hustles for tips. And so whenever I had a day off, I'd grab my bike, I'd go for a bike ride, and I'd pull up to that restaurant, I'd tuck the bike off to the side, and I'd sit down, and I would just sit there and watch him work. Better than any soccer game I've ever seen. Sorry, Rick. It was awesome to watch him be productive, to serve those people, to do it with a smile, even if he was just hustling for a tip. I just think it was terrific watching him be so productive. So today, as you guys graduate, you need to know that I respect you for the academic degree that you have earned, but you need to know this. The thing that gets me most excited is the things that you guys can do. That's what I think is the coolest thing. What we do, that used to be so important. It's how we got our names. I'm not kidding. The 2 most common ways that we used to get our names way back when were where you were from and what you did. And if you don't believe me, just ask some of your close classmates. Cole Hunter, where are you, Cole? Yeah, Hunter, right there. Alante Shepard, Kyle Marshall, Mr. Miller, Mr. Bowman, Mr. Keller, Mr. Cannon. I could go on. I looked at a roster of your class, and over 1 in 10 of you carry the name of a profession that your ancestors might have done. Now, I get it. We don't do that anymore. But be aware that you are about to get new names. Some of you are going to be called superintendent, foreman, master carpenter, general contractor, chief engineer. general, chief, master, super. Strong names, names that command respect and project competency. And up until now, I hope you guys all enjoy and embrace the name you've received, which is apprentice. It's the best one. It comes from Latin and French, and it means to understand and to learn. And you guys have all shown that you already understand the value of learning to work with your head, but also with your hands. So never stop learning, and be sure that you become proud of those names that are about to be bestowed upon you. Be an apprentice for life. All right, enough from me. I'll just leave you with a final thought. As you leave this remarkable place, I want you to be aware that you all benefited from great mentors behind me, in front of me. Now you become one. As you go out into the world, remember that you don't just represent Williamson, you guys represent an idea, a new idea, that you don't have to follow convention to make a difference or to have worth. You represent the idea that a different path, the one that you guys walk, can lead to success and fulfillment. So practice your trade, excel at it, be that apprentice for life, and show the world that proficiency, not credentialism, is the highest honor. Show the world that all the bruises and the bumps and the small breaks that you endured along the way are your armor, and that the skills that you have learned are your weapon, and together, those make you guys fierce. So thank you for the invitation. Mike, thank you for your attention, fellas. You need to know that it is a great honor for me to be part of your brotherhood, if it's even just for one day. So Godspeed, go get them, kill it out there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kevin. That's fantastic. And, you know, those words I hope resonate with you guys. Just a great opportunity to bring a speaker like that here for your commencement. So thank you. I'd now like to ask our senior class president, Josh Gindel, to come back to the podium to present a special gift to Mr. O'Connor.
Mr. O'Connor, thank you for speaking at today's commencement. We are presenting you with the Williamson Gears plaque, designed and manufactured by our students. The plaque features a series of gears highlighting Williamson's core values, surrounded by each of the 6 trade programs. The interlocking gears represent Williamson's steadfast commitment to our values and trade education. Thank you for encouraging our graduates.
I got a clause in my contract that I can't work with anyone taller than me, so Josh, could you get off the stage?
I can squat down a little bit. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'd now like to introduce our Chief Academic Officer and Vice President of Education, Dr. Michelle Williams, to present our senior awards.
Good morning. Allow me to direct your attention to the inside of the program cover. Let us recognize the newly inducted members of the Ivy Club, a club that was founded to recognize leadership and initiative among the senior class. The members are wearing red cords with their robes. Gentlemen, please rise as I read your names. Michael T. Byers, Derek M. Brunetto, Malachi W. Elmore, Brian M. Finley, Darren E. Garcia, Joshua Gindel, Michael J. Hegarty, Michael J. Herbert, Elijah P. Kyle, Owen T. McClune, William J. Mott, Talon C. Pisarchuk, Chase S. Wortnaby, Alexander B. Whiteman. Gentlemen, please be seated. Let us also recognize the members of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Academic Honor Society. The members are wearing gold and blue cords with their robes. Gentlemen, please rise as I read your names. Seamus C. Doherty, Malachi W. Elmore, Joshua Gindel, Michael J. Hegarty, Michael J. Herbert, John T. Huber, Matthew P. Hughes, Elijah P. Kyle, Carlos A. Legardo, Christopher J. Michaeljohn, Michael J. Mott, Connor M. Oreskovich, Cameron J. Patterson, Talon C. Pisarchuk, Stephen J. Torres, Patrick M. Welsh, Alexander B. Whiteman. Gentlemen, please be seated. Now, it is my honor to announce this year's Senior Award winners. Award winners, please stand at your seat upon hearing your name and sit following audience applause. The Lester Lee F. Smith Memorial Award is for a carpentry student who showed greatest improvement, Cameron Patterson. The Beth Nelson Memorial Award is for a carpentry student who contributed most to underclassmen, Amiri Sendakwanawa. The Frank A. McKee Memorial Award goes to a carpentry student who best reflects the values of Williamson, Michael Hegarty. The Alice and Granville Baumler 4W8 Award goes to a student who exhibited excellence in carpentry, Joshua Kirkpatrick. The Longwood Gardens Award for Excellence in Horticulture goes to an outstanding gardener, Ryan Keeney. The Pennsylvania Horticulture Society Service Award goes to a student for service to horticulture, Marquise Merricks. The Isaiah V. Williamson Horticultural Award goes to a horticulture student who best reflects the values of Williamson, Talon Pisarchuk. The Marjorie and Clarence W. Schrank 4W9 Outstanding Achievement Award goes to a student who exhibits excellence in horticulture, Owen McClune. The R. Bruce Bellergeau 6W9 Memorial Award goes to a student that has greatest contribution to the machine shop underclassmen, Davon McFarland. The Scott Shop Towels Award goes to the Most Improved Machine Shop student, William Mott. The John D. Beccaria Memorial Award goes to the machine shop student who best reflects the values of Williamson, Justin Williams. The Kenneth H. Grow Memorial Award goes for a student with excellence in machine tool technology, Christopher Schaefer. The Noonviller 3W8 Fulmer Memorial Award goes to the Most Improved Masonry student, Brian Finley. The Pennsylvania Concrete Masonry Association Award goes to the masonry student who best reflects the values of Williamson, Isaiah Bolden. The John J. Sabia Memorial Award goes to a student who exhibits excellence in masonry, Ryan Keller. The Michael Savage 1W2 Memorial Award goes to the student who gives the greatest contribution to power plant underclassmen, Michael Herbert. The Constellation Thomas Callahan 7W9 Memorial Award goes to the power plant technology student who best reflects the values of Williamson, Alexander Whiteman. The Thomas Gustav Furman 7W9 Memorial Award goes to the student for excellence in the mechanical field by a power plant technology student, Elijah Kyle. The Rupp 1898 Zip C 1953 Award goes to a student for excellence in the electrical field by a power plant technology student, Malachi Elmore. Academic Honors Award goes to students attaining a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or better. Joseph Ackroyd, Eric Alston, Matthew Baszler, Edward Bombali, Zachary Bozak, Brian Cannon, Christopher Del Razo, Nicholas Doherty, Seamus Doherty, Malachi Elmore, Tyler Foch, Darren Garcia, Joshua Gendel, Caleb Glenn, Michael Hegarty, Michael Herbert, John Huber, Matthew Hughes, Cole Hunter, Ryan Keller, Joseph Kelly, Joshua Kirkpatrick, Connor Noor, Elijah Kyle, Christopher Michael John, Marquise Merricks, Nazir Miller, William Mott, Ryan Neary, Creed Norris, Connor Oreskovich, Cameron Patterson, Talon Pisarchuk, Christopher Sheffer, Amiri Sendakwanawa, Stephen Torres, Garrett Watkins, Patrick Welsh, Chase Wartnaby, Alexander Whiteman, Justin Williams, Evan Warner. The Good Citizenship Award goes to students who have had no disciplinary violations in 3 years. Joseph Ackroyd, Eric Austin, Michael Byers, Malachi Elmore, Alexander Whiteman. The Johnson Perseverance Award goes to a student for overcoming considerable adversity. Carlos Lugardo. The Robert Crawford Award goes to a student for greatest improvement in trade and academics. Ryan Neary. The Linford J. Williams 1907 Award goes to a student for excellence in scholarship and athletics. Talon Pisarchuk. The Work Service Award goes to a student for service above the call of duty. Isaiah Joubert. The Monroe L. Newt 1923 Award goes to a student for highest educational achievement. Justin Williams. And now, I would like to invite Chairman Bonenberger to the stage to present the Jeanette and James R. Clemens 3W4 Award.
Thank you, Michelle. Before I present the award, I just want to take 2 minutes to say a few words. I promise I'm not going to offer any advice. You've heard all the best advice that I've ever heard at a commencement address so far. On behalf of the entire board and as a fellow Williamson alum, I want to congratulate all of you. You are now on day 1,000 of the 1,000-day journey. I know how that feels. I can see the excitement on your face. I can see the pride on your family's faces up there. On top of the degree, on top of the trade that you learned, on top of the no debt, the brotherhood, all the things that you've heard today that are somewhat unique to Williamson, I just want you to remember one thing. It all sits on top of the 5 core values: faith, integrity, diligence, excellence, and service. And if you believe in those 5 core values that are now part of your DNA, and if you live your life according to them, on top of those other things that I just mentioned, you are going to have an incredible life, and there's literally no limit to what you can accomplish. So congratulations, gentlemen. Okay, the very last and most prestigious award. It is my pleasure to present the Jeanette and James R. Clemens 3W4 Award, the most prestigious award given at commencement. It's determined by a vote of our entire faculty and staff. This award is presented annually to a graduating senior who, over the course of their 3 years at Williamson, has demonstrated an outstanding level of citizenship, leadership, and scholarship. I'd like to highlight just a few accomplishments of this year's recipient. Our award recipient is passionate about Williamson. He was born in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, and attended Twin Valley High School, where he was an active student, athlete, as well as an active participant in student associations and a leadership network. He received an academic achievement certificate as the best craftsman in a woodworking course. However, like many young men, he had no idea what he wanted to do after graduation until a guidance counselor shared with him the story of Williamson. While he was not admitted to Williamson on his first attempt, he remained persistent and succeeded in getting into Williamson the following year, enrolling in our power plant technology program. He's been an exceptional student at Williamson over the course of his tenure. He served his fellow peers as a class officer, student ambassador, and was a member of the college's safety committee. He was active in intramurals and was a member of the yearbook team. Our recipient also founded the firefighting club. This interest came from his membership in two separate volunteer fire companies, one back home in Twin Valley Fire Department, where he's been a member for 4 years, and Middletown Fire Company, which he joined as it serves the Williamson campus and the surrounding areas of Middletown Township. Most weekends he has taken firefighting courses at Twin Valley and has earned multiple certificates, including a Fire 1 certification. His commitment to firefighting is born from his interest in helping other people. This young man achieved a 4.0 GPA, earning Dean's List recognition throughout his 3 years at Williamson. He also had 0 disciplinary infractions throughout his 3 years, which I can tell you from experience is no easy feat to achieve. As a junior, he received the Sons of the American Revolution William J. Yearsley Award and was recognized in joining Williamson's Phi Theta Kappa Beta chapter. Just recently, he was inducted into the school's prestigious Ivy Club. He did a summer internship at California Boiler, where he worked as a boiler technician. He plans to utilize his Williamson education as the foundation for a career in the power industry, and also intends to get involved in the real estate industry. This young man loves Williamson and its ability to change the future of its students. He believes that Williamson has provided a great foundation of core values and trade education upon which to begin both his career and his life. Ladies and gentlemen, help me honor this year's recipient, Alex Whiteman. You have something to give him? There's something here to give him? Yeah, this is it. Alex, congratulations. Well earned. Yeah, absolutely.
Please join me in giving all of this year's award recipients a round of applause. Award recipients, please remember to pick up your awards in the Wesley Center immediately following this ceremony.
We will now proceed with the conferring of degrees in course. I have the honor of presenting those candidates who have completed all the requirements for the Associate and Specialized Technology degree in the fields of construction technology carpentry, construction technology masonry, horticulture landscaping and turf management, machine tool technology, and power plant technology. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Yeah, that's all of you. Yep, all of you. Yep. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now confer upon you the Associate and Specialized Technology degree with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please be seated.
As I read the name of each graduate, I will ask President Rounds to confer the degrees and join Chairman Bonenberger, Mr. O'Connor, and Mr. Moran, President of the Williamson Alumni Association, in extending congratulations to each graduate. Will associate's degree recipients in construction technology carpentry please rise? Associate degree recipients in construction technology carpentry: Eric D. Austin, Lorenz D. Batty, Michael T. Byers, Jaden E. Fitzgerald, Michael J. Haggerty, Raymond M. Hennessy, Joshua M. Kirkpatrick, Carlos A. Lugardo, Dylan J. Marantino, Tyler McLaughlin, Nathan J. Myers, Cameron J. Patterson, Stephen J. Rosen, Colton Sorty, Amiri C. Sendakwanawa, Stephen J. Torres, Aiden K. White. Will associate's degree recipients in construction technology masonry please rise? Associate's degree recipients in construction technology masonry: Isaiah Bolden, Derek M. Brunetto, Brian M. Finley, Stephen W. Gualtieri, Matthew P. Hughes, Isaiah M. Joubert, Ryan P.G. Keller, Kevin R. Kennedy, Connor O. Noor, Paul C. Malatesta, Chris J. Michaeljohn, Alante L. Shepard, Garrett R. Watkins. Will associate's degree recipients in horticulture, landscaping, and turf management please rise? Associate's degree recipients in horticulture, landscaping, and turf management: John R. Barron, Matthew J. Baszler, Brandon C. Carey, Tyler R. Foch, Ryan P. Keeney, Owen T. McClune, Marquise L. Merricks, Justin P. Minch, Darius M. Odom, Connor M. Oreskovich, Talon C. Pisarchuk, Marcos A. Rivera, Shamar J. Smith, Evan N. Valente, Tyler P. Wilson. Will associate's degree recipients in machine tool technology please rise? Associate's degree recipients in machine tool technology: Robert Allen, Corby E. Bennett Jr., Zachary J. Bozak, Nicholas M. Doherty, Justin P. Ford, Darren E. Garcia, Caleb R. Glenn, Cole M. Hunter, Davon A. McFarland, Aiden R. Meehan, Nazir M. Miller, William J. Mott, Creed A. Norris, Christopher Sheffer, Patrick M. Welsh, Chase S. Wortnaby, James D. Williams, Justin P. Williams, Evan I. Warner. Will associate's degree recipients in power plant technology please rise? Associate degree recipients in power plant technology: Joseph R. Ackroyd, Jacob E. Barrow, Edward Z. Bombley, Nasir W. Bowman, Brian P. Cannon, Christopher Del Raso, Seamus Doherty, Malachi W. Elmore, Joshua Gindel, Michael J. Herbert, John T. Huber, Joseph R. Kelly, Elijah P. Kyle, Justin T. Lennox, Kyle R. Marshall, Cesar Muncion, Ryan P. Neary, Pierce L. Thompson, Alexander B. Whiteman, Jason R. Williams.
I'm impressed. Good job. Good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Will the class of 2W4 please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2W4. Please move your tassels right to left.
All right, please take your seats. I want to start my closing remarks by not pressing the luck and saying, thank you, Lord, for keeping the rain and the wind and all that at bay. But we're a little worried this morning, I got to tell you. But the good Lord kept us there, and I won't screw it up by going on and on. Okay, so I want to start my closing remarks by thanking everyone that worked so hard to put this ceremony together. Our staff and faculty and students that have been working the last week to get the campus looking the way it does. It's beautiful. And the hard work of you guys over the last 2 weeks is really evident. So thank you for that. Congratulations, 2W4. We're so proud of you. 84 of the original 101 students that started here in August of 2021, that makes you the largest graduating class in the 130-year plus history of Williamson. It's awesome. But not only that, they are also the highest graduation percentage, 83, just over 83%. So 83%, regardless of the fact the class is bigger coming in, this is the best graduation success rate that we've ever had. So congratulations to you. Last year, our class gift from the class of 2W3, I think, was a sign out front, and we were like, man, it's getting close. Like, are you going to get it done in time? And they said, well, we got it done a day early. And 2W4, not to be outdone, just decided, well, that's way too much time. So I want to point out the class gift that the class raised money for, and that's the 3 flagpoles that are there. That are part of this new Wesley Center complex. So now when we have athletic events and events, we can raise Old Glory, the state flag, and the Williamson flag. But I will tell you, at 9 o'clock last night, they were not there. They were finished at 10 o'clock last night with at least 6 or 7 hours to spare. So there you go. Congratulations, guys. Got it done. And it'll be, you guys will have your name on that for a long, long time. You know, you chose your motto, a calm sea never made a skilled sailor. And I thought that was interesting because Williamson is not an easy place. It's not a lazy river to float around on in an inner tube. It's in something that doesn't require any skill. It's challenging and it requires hard work. You recognize that the only way to improve your skills is sail towards the rough waters and learn how to master them. Not too many young men are capable of completing this program here, but you came together as a class and accomplished that mission you started 1,000 days ago, to finish these requirements for your degree and leave here not just as Williamson graduates, but even more importantly, Williamson men. You should take great pride in what you accomplished, but I think you would agree that graduation from Williamson is not something that you could have done on your own. Every one of you owes a huge debt of gratitude to a couple groups. First, your classmates. You guys have come together like brothers, uplifting, helping each other through the challenges of life here. You rose to every challenge, you pulled together, you cared about each other, and took care of each other, and that's evident in the fact of how many of you guys are sitting here today. Second is the Williamson faculty and staff. You have been blessed with an amazing, amazing group of dedicated teachers and staff that contributed to your success and always, always was willing to go above and beyond to help you whenever you needed, whenever you asked. And third, your family and friends who stood by you and encouraged you to hang in there, even in the tough times. They knew what the requirements were and encouraged you to do what you knew you needed to do. And when you got a little down, they said, hey, suck it up and drive on, right? Finish, do what you got to do. So every one of you can point to some of those folks. So amid the celebrations, then thank yous, need to go to those special people. Find some time to find them and talk to them and express your gratitude for helping you get to where you are today. Your journey as a student is complete, but you're just beginning this exciting new journey. And we're confident that you are prepared to be successful and that you will carry forward the values of faith, integrity, diligence, excellence, and service in everything you do. Please come back and visit whenever you have the chance. Stay engaged with the students that are here. Get involved with the Alumni Association. They want to see you. They want to hear what you're doing out there in the real world. and be generous in supporting Williamson with your time, your talent, and your treasure. So congratulations, class of 2W4. May God continue to bless you and protect you as you go. Great job, guys. So this concludes our commencement ceremony, and I ask that the guests please remain in their seats until after the recessional has finished. Once the recessional is complete, please join us for the graduate bell ringing ceremony, which is just adjacent to the field, just up by the new flagpoles. This ceremony came about 10 years ago when the class of 1W4 donated that bell and wanted to have that there to ring as each graduate went through. So they will do that, and we'll wait for them to get in position, and you can go down there and take pictures of that. I now ask the audience to rise and remain standing while the artisans lead us in the alma mater, and Reverend Dr. Mark Specht concludes the proceedings with the benediction and the recessional.
Come on, Moncos. Moncos. Monson. A name there is which we revere, Williamson, our Williamson. It swells our hearts with love and cheer. Williamson, our Williamson. To live the truth, our watchword stands. May we be loyal to thy demands and champion truth where she stands. Williamson, our Williamson. When by the world's hard task is made, Williamson, our Williamson, will ever think of pledges made. Williamson, our Williamson, we've learned to share thy glorious gift. You filled our hearts with thoughts that lift, and now we pledge our love anew. Williamson, our Williamson.
My fellow alumni, well done, well done. Remember God's promise. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Now receive God's blessing. The peace of God that passeth all understanding, keep your heart and mind in the knowledge and love of God and of his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost be amongst you and remain with you always. Amen.